What is up guys, I'm Juan from Cosmic Fury. So my question is, what is the best remedy for a very long and tiring day? I guess a slight unboxing and a slight review would do the trick. I finally got one of my pre-orders in back home, and this is the MMS 322, the Snowtrooper officer from the Force Awakens movie. So basically it's a Snowtrooper officer, and anything with a pauldron, a colored pauldron, is an officer rank, which is established in all of the Star Wars material. So let's get to it. Alright, I have already unboxed this prior to getting to the shop and checking all the stuff, whether the joints are working, anything broken and stuff like that. So everything's fine from the initial check. So I got back home and I'm gonna, this is not really a pure unboxing because I already did the unboxing at the shop, but I'm gonna show you the state of it. It is still in the box, so I'm gonna like get to it and show what's up. Okay, I'll remove the plastic right here. Let's go. And I always emphasize on every unboxing, appreciate the plastic smell because it's so good. Alright, let's release the top part of the box. Here it's tight, it's tight, it's tight. Alright, we got the top cover off, and this is what it looks like right in the front. As you can see, the Snowtrooper officer right there, and his pauldron, and well, it's hopeful to see elbows doing, especially the Hot Toy figures which have their figures doing this kind of pose. It makes you expect that this guy has good joints, so this is a very promising start. So we go with all the Star Wars logo here, and then the description MMS 322. Yes, Snowtrooper officer from the Force Awakens. Nothing going on in the back, plain as usual. And the top cover, well, secondary cover, inner top cover. And we have the Snowtrooper art here, looking pretty good, looking pretty good. Alright, the inner parts, we are going to do it last as per usual. I'm gonna put this at the side. Let's check out the back of the box. This is where all the addresses and all the official Hot Toys sticker, if you can see that, and all the address and stuff. So once again, a plain back part of the box. Alright, let's get to the meat of the video. Okay, so I think it's pretty much basic as it gets here. So let's see. Let's take off the top part of the clamshell. Basic cover, nothing going on. Standard issue. Honestly, when I got this, well, I really knew I was gonna get this figure anyway. Initially, when I unboxed it at the shop, I was very surprised, and I'm going to elaborate on why I was very surprised at this figure. So let me get to it. Okay, there's a plastic here. So basically, how he looks like he's looking like that. So this is how he looks like within the box. Let's start off with the accessories. He comes with the Snowtrooper backpack. Well, it's in the movie, but what it does essentially is not really elaborated. It's probably I don't know, some stuff that it wasn't really elaborate. So the Snowtrooper backpack, the extra plastic put aside. We have here a left hand relaxed gripping hand, and then we have the right relaxing gripping hand, and here we have the left fisted hand, the left relaxed trigger holding hand, and then we have the left open palm hand. And then the next one, we have the right relaxed trigger hand, and we have the right fisted hand. With that, with the hands on the figure itself, that's 2, and then the one that I just showed you is about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in total, there's about like 9 hands. Alright, let's moving on for more accessories. Extra pegs. The oversized binoculars. I don't know how far this can go if it were to be in real life, because this thing is like fucking huge. Look at it. It's a giant ass binoculars. So, well, wow. The highlight of this, in terms of accessories at least, is the rifle, because if I were to compare it to the standard Stormtrooper rifle, this is slightly bigger, and what it can do, on the buttstock, it can extend. You can see that. So let's see what else can this thing do. Right, it can extend on the arm guard here. Maybe just as an extending handle, I suppose. What else? I'm guessing it can rotate because there's screws here, but it's pretty tight. I don't want to break anything. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this thing can be extended down, like from here, the arm guard, so you can just pull down to the back, but I'm not gonna try that because it seems to be very tight, and squeaking sounds usually show signs of potential breakage, so I don't want to try my luck on that too much. So moving along, but anyway, this is a very nice rifle here, a bit bigger than a standard Stormtrooper rifle, and it looks pretty badass. But I mean, most of the troopers' color scheme is white and black, and this is no exception, and it's looking really awesome. Right, so right, for the last part of the accessories, I'm gonna put the figure to the side first, and the last part of the accessories, of course, is the standard Force Awakens stand. This is the base, and this is the crotch extension. Alright, stand extension. So pretty much that's it in terms of accessories. As usual, do not forsaken. Wait, let me try to put this out first. Okay, like I mentioned in the previous videos, don't ever disregard the instruction manuals. When in doubt, always refer to the instruction manuals. Do not throw this away under any circumstances, because this will help you regardless of its figure. So just to prove my point on the rifle, I'm going to refer to the instruction manual. Alright, flipping the instruction manual, because why? Because I need to know whether that rifle, and well, that doesn't show anything about the rifle. Luckily, I did not extend the rifle out of curiosity, so luckily I didn't break anything. But we'll see. I'll try to experiment in future in days to come and see how it goes. But again, my advice is always never throw away the instruction manual, because you'll never know when it might help you. Right, let's put this all to the side and get to the main figure. Okay, this guy is looking really awesome, and I will come to the point where I was really excited about this figure initially when I unboxed at the shop. Let me get to it really soon, but before that, I'm going to remove all the plastic. This guy has excessive plastic on him, so I'm gonna remove all of them. Okay, all plastics have been removed. Right off the bat, I want to see whether this guy can stand on his own without any support from any kind of stand. And from that, he's a clear winner. He's a definite clear winner! Let me get into the part where I find this guy really exciting, because when I unboxed him, the moment I saw the joints, and then I felt the joints, and then I saw the clothing that he was, the material used for this particular figure, I got really excited, because the joints possibly were just as good as Kylo Ren's, which is really fucking awesome. If you would have seen my previous video on the Kylo Ren review, I was balls off the wall with the amount of good stuff and points which I noted in that video about the joints and everything, the quality of the clothes. And surprisingly enough, this figure, okay, in the movie, in Force Awakens, he doesn't, this particular trooper, the snow troopers don't really do much in the movie. They just stand there in one particular scene, and that's about it. You never really see them in action at all. But I did a little joke when I was at the shop, is that any figures in Hot Toys promos, at least, any figures that were standing beside Kylo Ren are probably having good joints. And true enough, this is what the case is for the Snowtrooper. He's having way too much good stuff going on, even though he's not that important in the movie. So let me elaborate on that. First, right off the bat, I'm telling you, the joints on this guy is just as good as Kylo Ren's. Let me prove that, okay? See, he can bend his arm like that. Okay, there are limitations, of course, because of his clothing, but if you were to like remove a like certain portion of clothing, he can go as way back as Kylo Ren if you wanted to. So let's see. And look at that, he can, for the knees, he can go as way back. This is because of the quality of the clothes, the type of clothing, the joints are not restricted, so that is really good. So like I said, any figure that is posed beside Kylo Ren is gonna have good joints, good movements, and that is definitely a plus point. Wow, I did not expect this figure to have that many good joints, so I'm really surprised. Let's go to the overall the amount of joints that this figure has. This figure has joints in the neck area, obviously. Mine's a bit loose, later I'm gonna like tighten it on. So it's based on a ball joint, so you can basically do all that. The joints in the shoulder, both of the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists are connected by pegs. There's joints in the hips. I can feel the hips right here. Yep. There are joints in the knees, like you saw it earlier, and there's plenty more movement in the ankle. If I were to say, comparing between this and Kylo, there are certain areas where Kylo can't really do much because of the clothing, but this figure probably can, and vice versa. There are certain things this figure can do, Kylo Ren cannot, and certain things which Kylo Ren can do, this figure cannot. So before we actually do like a figure comparison, let's talk about the overall design. So let me take a look at this guy. Alright, hang on, let me set up the stand, and so I can just talk and not look at this guy too much. Okay, I finally got the stand set up so this guy can be in sync in the frame, everything. Okay, so overall design, the stitches that is incorporated into the costume and everything, it's nicely done. There's a lot of fine detailing, especially in the elbows and the side here near the hips. Overall, the detail in stitching is done pretty well. Okay, the overall armor is a bit more minimalist compared to the other previous stormtroopers, the heavy gun and everything. It's a bit more minimalistic in so-called the armor plating, if I were to call it. But the pouches and everything, it suits the design. It makes him like simple, but he's carrying extra stuff, if that makes any sense. Okay, for the helmet design, it is apparent that the cone behind the head, if you can see that, it does. The only other character that actually has this design, probably you have Kylo Ren and you have Darth Vader. So they are following that thing at the back there. So, and overall, the boots on this guy is dope, because it shows that it is designed for snow, even though you don't see any scenes of him walking on snow. Let me try to remember. I cannot remember any scene where this guy is actually walking on snow or doing anything in his uniform. So, okay, overall design, this guy is sporting what else? There's very little blacks on this guy. There's like black lines on the back of the helmet, front of the helmet. There's a black belt, black rubber straps on his boots. Okay, the good thing about the joints, definitely I'm giving it to the elbows, I'm giving it to the knees. Okay, even though there's like potential for more movement in the shoulders, but I can feel, and from what I've adjusted early on, there's limitations to how far the shoulder can go. Pretty much because of the stitching, the shoulder can go probably as far as like that and not beyond like 90 degrees. So that's about it. That is purely because of the stitching. And what else? Even for the hips, there's a limitation again because of the stitching and the clothing. So I'm guessing about like at least 45 degrees more or less. So yeah, but I'm surprised at the ankles, because the ankles, there's more movement in the ankles compared to Kylo Ren, because for Kylo Ren's design, the boots are rubber, like they're pretty much designed in a way that there's not gonna be a lot of movement. There's a lot of fuck, I can't remember the word. There's a lot of, the design is in such a way that it's impossible for the ankle to move for Kylo Ren. But for this guy, there seems to, if you were to see that, you see it? There's more design to it. And the thing about this is that this lacing, this rubber part here, is not fixed. It can be actually moved. So if I would actually remove the feet, I can actually take this thing out. So potential modding possibilities here. Even for the knee guards here, it's not fixed to the clothes. If you can see the knee guard here, it's just hanging there because the shin guard is in place. If the shin guard, if you were to take it out, you can actually remove the knee pad here, so or the knee guard, which is pretty cool. Besides that, I guess honestly I can't really say much about the figure. The overall design, he's pretty simple. He looks okay. He needs to have a figure to accompany him. You know, if you were like building a trooper army, this guy is definitely a figure to have, of course, because of his pauldron. Makes him look apart. So let's get into the comparison with another figure in terms of height and price wise and all that stuff. Wow, suddenly 3 is a crowd. The figure's now blocking my face. Okay, so basically I got the backpack on and the rifle placed on the snowtrooper officer. Alright, let's do a little bit of comparison on pricing and a little bit on value, design, and overall articulation. Out of all the 3 figures you see here right now, in terms of articulation, the one with the most satisfying one would be Kylo Ren. Okay, coming second to that is the Snowtrooper officer. And lastly will be the First Order Stormtrooper. Overall, the figures Kylo Ren and Snowtrooper officers, they have great articulation. There are certain things that the Kylo Ren figure can do, and then there are certain things the Snowtrooper officer can do. In terms of the amount of articulation and the limitations, I mean, Kylo Ren, in terms of his shoulder, he can go like really way up, because there's no restriction in the shoulders, especially because of the clothing. But there is limitations for the Snowtrooper officer because of the stitching and a bit of the armor plating. So this about like as much as this high you can go. In terms of elbow articulation, these 2 figures are pretty much side to side in terms of how much they can do. They can just like go way back, and there's no limitations to it. If you can see here, this is little to no issues trying to get this guy to pose in this manner, holding his rifle in that, while the standard Stormtrooper has so much trouble even trying to like do this. And that is why it's very difficult to make him pose in this manner, because the design of the suit and the limitations of that kind of like that rubber thing, plus with the inner leather which they put inside this figure, is really difficult for the standard clone trooper to actually do that. Okay, in terms of height, the overall winner, I suppose I'll give it to Kylo Ren, because right now all of them are standing on a flat surface, and Kylo Ren definitely is taller among both of them. But so pretty much that's the height comparison for the recently released Force Awakens figures. So yeah, in terms of articulation, definitely Kylo Ren takes it. Second is the Snowtrooper officer, and then lastly is the standard Stormtrooper. In terms of design, it's pretty simple. There's not a lot of going on for the Snowtrooper. Basically, these 3 figures are pretty basic in design. There's not a lot of thing going on with. It's pretty simple. The difference, I guess, in terms of accessories, they're pretty standard. I guess the Snowtrooper has a bit more because of the backpack, but besides that, he doesn't really pack anything much. He only has like 1 weapon, 9 with the figure itself, so that's like a total of 9 hands, and the backpack and the binoculars, and that's about it. Obviously, it's a bit more than the standard trooper. Definitely the one with the most satisfying extra accessories definitely goes for Kylo Ren, because he has that battery operated lightsaber effect which can be lighted on really bright. So in terms of accessories, Kylo Ren is gonna take it. But in terms of the quantity of accessories, pretty much all of them, it's pretty basic. There's not a lot. So I guess pretty much that's about it for accessories. Okay, in terms of what else, value for money. Okay, the Snowtrooper officer on retail right now is probably going about like $300 Singapore dollars. So I got it for a pre-order, and this guy is going about at least within the range of 280 to about 250, around that range. I can foresee this guy's value going down slightly more in the months to come, probably around like 250 to 230, because he's really not that important in the movie, and he's one of those characters who just appears and does absolutely nothing other than standing beside Kylo Ren. You don't see him in action and stuff like that. The value, I guess, comes with the amount of articulation and the potential poses he can do for guys who are into toy photography. So I guess the value is a lot based on that. But apart from importance in the whole Star Wars universe, I guess he is essential if you are into clone troopers or stormtroopers, army building. He's a guy definitely you would want to add if you're into army building. He's just one of those guys who just appear in a movie and does nothing, absolutely nothing. Other than that, I guess if value for money, I guess with the current pricing in Hot Toys in the market today, I guess the pricing is pretty standard, in the range of 280 to 250, and eventually going down in months to come, with the value dropping probably around like 250 to 220. I guess for that value, I guess it's pretty okay considering the standard prices you get for Hot Toys these days. So I'm not even surprised that in a couple of years these guys gonna go for 180, because nobody really cares about this figure. Overall, I guess the value for it, I guess it's pretty standard. Of course, if it can go for lower, definitely it's a deal breaker. But I've yet to see anybody actually getting this figure and then they don't want it and then they're selling it below 250. I've yet to see anybody do that. So we'll see. If you were short on cash and then you had only one choice, one figure to get, and then somehow you have these three options, my advice is you'll probably get more value and bang for your buck for Kylo Ren. But if you had two choices between these two troopers, I would definitely recommend getting the Snowtrooper officer. But obviously if you had only Kylo Ren and the Snowtrooper, I would definitely recommend Kylo Ren again. Overall, I was pretty surprised at the Snowtrooper officer, because like, this guy is, like I said, he's not important in the movie, but then when receiving the figure in hand, I was really surprised that the figure was in such of a design that there's a lot of articulation being allowed to be on this. So I was like, wow, this was something I did not expect. So like one of those figures where I get like whoa, I did not expect this. So because of that factor alone, I might actually consider getting the normal Snowtrooper, because there's like two versions, the officer version and the normal version. So because of what this figure can do, pretty much the Snowtrooper office, the standard Snowtrooper figure is pretty much the same without the pauldron. So I'm considering of getting that, so just to add up to the ranks of this guy, just because the articulation just blew my mind, because it was pretty close to what Kylo Ren was sporting in the design. I guess there's nothing much else I can say about this figure other than like the points I just added on to it. So pretty much that's it for this video. There's nothing more I can say. If there's anything you would like to add to this video, just put it down on the comment section. So yeah, pretty much that's it. I'm Juan from Cosmic Figurine. Like, comment and subscribe. Can you see me? Cheers!